Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, December 8th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, Cash App, $ ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NBA action tonight. The Dallas Mavericks with Kyrie and Luka versus the Portland Trail Blazers with Shaedon Sharpe. Let's freaking go. Definitely we're a big underdog in this matchup. The Blazers, we're going to have a long season, but I definitely want to be able to get a little bit of the Blazers and Rip City action. As long as we have the NFL going in college football, that's always going to be a priority. But we're definitely going to sprinkle in a little bit of Kraken for the NHL and then a little bit of Blazers for the NBA action, or depending on who they're playing. And they didn't really have a whole lot on the NHL side since we did the Kraken last night. So I figured we'll do the Blazers tonight. Hopefully we don't lose by 20 or 30 to Luka and Kyrie. We are at Moda, so I know there's a few of my friends that are more than likely at the game tonight that I'll probably get a few messages. And hopefully we can keep it close. We do have a couple injuries, so we don't really have a full starting lineup still, but Anthony Simons is back. We got Shaedon Sharpe, so we got two big guys that can get it done, but then also no Malcolm Brogdon and no DeAndre Ayton. So hopefully at one point or another, we can have Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Malcolm Brogdon, DeAndre Ayton. Jeremy Grant is also out. So I'm hoping at one point in the season, we can have everyone healthy at the same time, which we really haven't been able to do. So we'll see on how it goes. And then tomorrow we got the Tampa Bay Lightning going against the Seattle Kraken around the same time. And then we got an amazing matchup on Sunday Night Football where we're going to have the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'll try to sprinkle in some reaction videos as well. Let's go, baby. Megan in the building. What's good? Andrew in the building. What's good? Hopefully it ends up being a competitive matchup. But if the Mavericks pull away, I won't be too surprised. I mean, Luka is one of the best players in the NBA. And you can argue, with Giannis, with Embiid, and with all of the top dogs as well as the Joker, you could definitely say that, hey, if I'm going to build a team, around anybody in the NBA, Luka would be number one choice for many people, unless you're a Bucks fan and you love Giannis, or you're a Joker guy and you're a Nugget fan, or maybe even if you're an Embiid guy. But I would say, I would take Luka over Embiid. I would say, right now, the way that the NBA is kind of being played, you got the Joker. He's not sexy, but he gets the job done. They won the championship last year, and they're going to try to repeat. And then obviously lots of people love Giannis. We know he's very well-rounded. But Luka, for a guy that's not a power forward / center, you could probably say he's the best in the NBA, hands down. And I love being able to watch him play, and so that's why I'm here today. Hopefully you get a little bit better, Megan. Obviously with the injuries and whatnot, I think Sarah will be in the building here in just a couple seconds as well. And hopefully we end up, getting some good support today. And then as far as the thumb, you already know where it is. We have to go with Luka Doncic on the left, and my boy Shaedon Sharpe, my favorite player on the Blazers, on the right. Let's go, baby. And we'll be starting here in just a couple minutes. Let's go, baby. Kyrie and Luka, obviously last year it wasn't really a very good fit, but I feel that they're finding ways to be able to play with each other. Obviously, it's Luka's team. When Kyrie came in last year, it kind of felt like he was trying to make it his team, even though he was like the new guy in town. But I think they have found a pretty good balance between the two of them now. And Luka is literally unstoppable. I mean, he's one of those guys that can get a triple-double, within a half of play, which he did just a few nights ago. It's kind of amazing to think someone could get, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, or more than that, within a matter of 2 quarters. But Luka is that good. Embiid is fantastic. Giannis is great. Joker is great. And I think Luka, if you really look at the popularity factor, you could probably say he might be the most popular superstar in the NBA that isn't a power forward / center. And even if you compare him to the Joker and Giannis and Embiid, I know a lot of people would say, you know what, I like Luka, and if it's me, as great as Giannis is, obviously he would be #1 choice for probably most people in the world. But besides Giannis, a 1A and 1B, I would have to put Luka up there as well on a guy that I would want to build around. And if they can build around him properly, maybe we can actually see the Mavericks go to the Western Conference Finals at some point. But we know the West is very, very competitive and very, very deep. Let's go, baby. Daniel in the building, what's good? Hopefully you can heal up the best way that you can, and I apologize that you're going through it. It seems like it's one thing to another. Like I said, a lot of us are going through something, either mental health or physical health. We are in the holiday season, but just because it's December, it doesn't mean things get a little bit easier. For a lot of us, things get a little bit more stressful with bills and everything else and mental health. So I'll pray for you, and I hope things get a little bit better. I try to be able to manage my darkness, that I go in, from time to time. And I definitely was in kind of a rough place, earlier today. And obviously doing this as a full-time job, you have to be able to go through the ups and the downs. And it's very easy to be able to get anxiety and get depression when you're relying on other people to be able to, make a living. It's not like another job where you clock in, you clock out, and you know exactly what you're going to get at the end of the day. When you end up putting all your, eggs in one basket, and you grind and you grind and you grind, you put in everything that you got. Sometimes you get rewarded for your hard work. Sometimes you don't. And that's definitely tough on the mental health. But I'm here. I'm going to grind. I'm going to stay positive the best that I can. And hopefully we can end up getting some halfway decent results tonight, and then we got the Kraken tomorrow, and then we got the Cowboys and the Eagles obviously on Sunday, and then I'll try to do some reaction videos there. But I have a goal of trying to pretty much stream every single day. But again, no one likes to be able to grind and give everything that you have and then end up at a very low number or at a nothing. So hopefully we can end up getting some love from some people. The last 3 or 4 streams have not been very kind to me. So at some point, things got to get better. They got to get better before they continue to be worse. So hopefully the Blazers can end up being competitive, and we can end up getting a dub. And I'm just going to try to be as positive as possible. And I hope everyone is doing much better if you were struggling. And I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday as we transition into Saturday. Let's go, baby. Game is about to start here in just a second. I'm glad that you're feeling better. And then for the Mavericks, we got Grant Williams is out. Let's see, Keebler is out, as well as Josh Green. And then for the Blazers, no Malcolm Brogdon, no DeAndre Ayton, and no Jeremy Grant. So those are 3, potential starters, or even if you have a guy like Brogdon, if he comes off the bench and Scoot starts. So essentially 3 out of our top 6 guys are out. But at least we have Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons is back. So hopefully Scoot can pick up the pace. But I'm really excited for that day that we get Scoot, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Malcolm Brogdon, DeAndre Ayton, and Jeremy Grant all to play together, which we haven't been able to have all season. But, a guy can hope. A guy can dream, and we are about to get ready to set to go to tip-off here in about 2 minutes. Glad to hear that you're doing better. Lots of Shohei Ohtani rumors. Obviously, nothing set in stone yet with that. Obviously, a lot of people trying to break the news first, but no one really is going to know until Shohei announces it himself. There was a rumor that he was going to, be up in Toronto, but a lot of these guys that are working for networks, or they're just, self-made guys working on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, trying to become Twitter famous or X famous or Instagram famous, breaking fake news. And, he is not in Toronto. Obviously, he's still at his home in Southern California. The only thing so far that we know about Ohtani, that it sounds like he met up with Dave Roberts a few days ago for the Dodgers, but no deal has been signed just yet. Let's go, baby. And hopefully when we end up doing the Kraken tomorrow, we can get a dub. It just seems like almost every game this season that I've done of the Kraken, I think our record so far has been like 1 win and 5 or 6 losses on the stream so far. And with the Blazers, I'm trying to remember if we've even had a win so far out of all the games that I've streamed. Blazers and Kraken have not been kind to us, but again, both teams haven't been very good this year. So, it is what it is. And, when you're a fan of a team, especially in the Pacific Northwest, sometimes we're going to have good moments. For example, me being a Duck fan, even though we ended up losing, to the Washington Huskies, but overall it was a good season for us. And then for like Megan, obviously being a Seattle Seahawks fan, you're going to have the good, you're going to have the bad, and you're going to have the ugly. And not everything is going to be peaches and cream if you are a Pacific Northwest fan, whether it be the Blazers, the Ducks, the Beavers, the Huskies, the Cougs, whether it be the Kraken, the Mariners, or the Seahawks. But one thing is true is that we are going to be very passionate. We're going to be very loyal, and we're going to rock the gear. We're going to watch the games, and then hopefully the sports gods are paying attention that we can finally get some dubs and some W's in the win column instead of keep getting these continuous L's every single day. Just like I think a lot of the Blazer fans and a lot of the Kraken fans are kind of getting fed up, but until the performances improve, that's what we're going to end up getting. So hopefully we end up bringing a game today, and hopefully the Kraken, when we play the Tampa Bay Lightning tomorrow, we can have back-to-back wins tonight and a win tomorrow for the Kraken, and then we're going to have the Cowboys and the Eagles on Sunday night, and I'm really looking forward to that. Appreciate you helping share the information there with the Twitter X, Sarah. Thank you so much. And like I said, I don't like to get to a point where I hit a breaking point, you know what I mean? And compared to last year, this year, we've had some ups, we've had some downs. It's been rough. Some days have been great, but other days have not. And, no one likes to work hard and not get rewarded with results. And we just have to be able to stick together the best that we can, and then hope that 2024 will treat us better than 2023. Because honestly, it can't get any worse than it's gotten in 2023. So, starting lineup for the Dallas Mavericks: Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Dante Exum, Derek Jones Jr., and Derek Lively II. All right, baby, here we go. Jason Kidd, still the head coach for the Dallas Mavericks. Chauncey Billups, third season as the Trailblazer coach. I'm not really sure if I'm fully sold on Chauncey, but, it is what it is. We've been injured this year, so it hasn't really been on him. And on the left, we got Luka Doncic, probably one of my favorite players overall in the league that is not on the Blazers. You can argue he's the best player in the NBA that doesn't play power forward and center on a regular basis, like the Joker, right? Like Giannis, as well as Joel Embiid. Let's go, baby. I appreciate that. Well, I hope things get better for you. It just seems like for you, it's always a one thing or another, but you're tough. You got a good support system, with people like us, here, as well as the 12s and with Brandon and whatnot. So we'll try to do everything we can to cheer you up. And anytime that I get into a little bit of a funk, I got a few people in my life that I turn to try to get me in a more of a positive mindset. And I appreciate every single one of y'all. All right, here we go, baby. There we go, off the glass. There we go. All right, come on, baby. Let's go. And I just want to be able to have a healthy Trailblazer team. And even if we were fully healthy, would we still be bad? Yes, we would be bad, but we would be closer to being like an 8 or a 9 or a 10 seed at this moment if we had everyone healthy from the beginning of the year instead of sitting at like 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15. Since there's only 15 teams, obviously not 16 like in the NFL on each side, Western and Eastern Conference. So, there, Kamara. Big air ball there. Come on now. We just got to be able to limit Kyrie and limit Luka the best to our ability. But I know there's a lot of Blazer fans that are going to be in the house at Moda, obviously wanting to watch Luka. Luka isn't out and one for the Mavericks. And Luka doesn't come to town too often. Derek Jones Jr. with the and one. Sorry to hear that. A rough couple days, for you too. Rest in peace with the grandpa, with the G-paw. Rest in peace in the heavens. And obviously with your dad with the stroke or, mini stroke or whatever the diagnosis was. Hopefully that he'll be able to pull through as well. Free throw is missed. Come on, baby. Yeah, I would imagine Hack is pissed, just like a lot of the Blazer fans and the Kraken fans. Probably more Kraken frustration than the Blazers because we've had more injuries and we kind of knew where we were sitting. With the Kraken, there really isn't a whole lot of excuses. We just got to be able to get into that rhythm. Have we had some injuries? Yes, but nothing really, season ending where it would like really affect us for the whole year. Luka with that easy layup. Hopefully, Luka doesn't get a triple double in the first half like he did a few games ago. Nice pass down low. Good ball movement for the Blazers. There we go. There we go. There we go, baby. All right, let me get this situated here. One sec. There we go. 6-5 Mavericks. We played really good against Golden State too for the first three quarters, and then that fourth quarter we kind of had some lapses, and that's all Golden State needed was Steph Curry to get the dub, and that's the most frustrating thing, to play good for three quarters and then have one kind of so-so quarter and you lose. Same thing with the Kraken, play good for a few quarters or few periods, excuse me, and then maybe even have a lead and not be able to hang on to the third period in some of the games that we've had. But that's, I guess, the life of being a Pacific Northwest sports fan. Shaden Sharp at the top of the key. Little jumper, in and out, no good. Good that you got a chance to be able to see the cousins, but it's just kind of unfortunate that the reason that you are having the get together is due to a death in the family. So I do, give you all the prayers and whatnot with that. That's a tough circumstance. But with that being said, to make the best of a situation that's terrible, with the passing of any type of relative or family or friend, to be able to bring other family together, that's one little positive aspect that you can bring out of it. Obviously, it's a tough situation, but if you can end up spending good quality time with the cousins that maybe you wouldn't have, that is at least a one thing that you can think of as a positive moving forward. So we got some beer spillage here at Moda. Ooh, taco pizza. That sounds good. I mean, I've been craving pizza for a long, long time, and I know some people don't like the pineapple on the pizza or like taco pizza. I love it. You know what I mean? A combo pizza is going to be my favorite, depending on where we're going. And I can always go with a pepperoni, but I don't mind the taco pizza. I actually kind of like it because it's like, how many times am I going to eat a taco pizza in a year? Once, maybe twice. So I'm going to cherish it and I'm going to enjoy it when I get it. Luca, little jumper is good. God, he's good. And I mean, Luca makes it look so effortless out there. And again, if I had my choice to pick any player in the NBA to build around to put on the Blazers, I think I would pick Luka even over Giannis. Giannis would be probably number two for me, but I think I would pick Luka number one. And that's saying a lot, because we already know how great Giannis is, how great the Joker is, how great Embiid is. And obviously, Joker, Giannis, and Luka would be my top three that I would want to build around. I guess it just depends on a coin flip where you go first. But Luka is amazing. To go from Dirk to Luca, the Mavericks and Mark Cuban are blessed, and then they bring in Kyrie. Even though Kyrie's kind of a meat player, and he tried to take over the team last year and it didn't work, I feel like he's kind of finding his role as being like the number two player on the team, and they've been playing much better this year compared to last year, in my opinion. We're knotted up at 8. Kamara in and out. Get back on defense, baby. Kamara. Come on, baby. You got to make a better sharp pass there. Kamara's terrible at offense, but he's pretty good at defense. I had a couple talks with my boy Justin about him, too. Most of the cousins live in Colorado. So did all of them fly in from Colorado? And then where is everyone in Iowa right now? Because you had to, did you drive to go there from where you're, because normally in like Missouri, and then you had to go to like Iowa for the funeral and whatnot. So prayers up. I'm, sorry that ended up happening. It's always a rough situation when you have family or friends. Like, I've had a couple friends pass away within the last, 2 months. One within the last month, and then another one within the last couple of weeks, and it definitely is difficult. Off the glass is good. There we go. Come on, baby. 11-8 Mavericks. Hard matchup to be able to guard Kyrie one-on-one, and Luka is fucking unguardable. So it's like you just got to pray that he doesn't get 30, 10, and 10. But seems like it's almost a given on every given night. And he's so talented. I mean, he's got the step back. He can post up. He can shoot threes. He is one of the most complete players. And there's always a game where he does something that makes you say, wow. And like there's not very many players in the NBA that you can say that about. The Joker, Giannis, and then probably Embiid, every other game. But Luka almost every single game. Pump fake, deep three, and it's good. Hardaway. You're old when Hardaway, he's making threes out there, and I watched his dad play with, obviously, the Golden State Warriors with Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond back in the day. Run TMC. Mid-range jumper is no good. They drove. How far was the drive for you from Missouri to Iowa to that particular location where you guys all had to meet up? And then the cousins from Colorado, did they fly or did they drive? 11-8 Mavericks. Let's take a quick look at the scores in the NBA as well as the NHL. All right, so we got Cavs 109, Heat 97 in the fourth, Warriors 114, Thunder 113 with less than a minute to go. End of the third quarter, Bulls 87, Spurs 83. I'll have to look to see what Wemby has for points. We know the Spurs are not good, but Wemby's always interesting. Rockets 52, Nuggets 48. Rockets up by 4 at half. Kings down by 6, 61-55 to the Suns in the third. Clippers and Jazz on ESPN right now. Clippers up 15-8. And then obviously this game, Mavericks up by 3, 11-8 on the Blazers. Final scores, Hornets 119, Raptors 116, Magic 123, Pistons 91, Sixers 125, Hawks 114, Nets 124, Wizards 97, Celtics 133, Knicks 123 for a final. And then T-Wolves with a blowout on the Grizzlies with no Ja Morant, 127-103. And then let's take a quick look at the NHL. And for NHL action, we have two finals, the Blue Jackets 5, Blues 2, Panthers 3, Penguins 1. And then right now in the second period, we have the Wild and the Oilers knotted up at 2. And that's all the action on the NHL side. And then as far as tomorrow, we got Army Navy at noon. So I won't do a stream for that, but I will be watching that and paying attention. I don't know how many people will be watching that matchup. Probably only me and Matt. On the channel will probably be watching that. Maybe Sarah, if she has a few minutes and gets bored. There no other college football is on. I usually watch it. I know it's not going to be very good, but still, it's Army Navy. It's kind of a tradition. When you're waiting for the bowl games and you're waiting for the other games to be played. And then on Sunday, we actually have some shitty matchups with the quarterbacks, but there's also some pretty good matchups overall. Bucks, Falcons, Colts, Bengals. That will be good. Jags, Browns, Texans, Jets, Rams, Ravens, Lions, Bears, Panthers, Saints, Vikings, Raiders. And then it gets better after that. Then Seahawks, Niners, Bills, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Giants, meh, and then Titans, Dolphins, meh. So the best matchups, on Sunday are definitely Hawks, Niners, Bills, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, and then Eagles, Cowboys. But if you want to narrow it down to a big three, Hawks, Niners, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, that's pretty good. So not bad. Not bad. Drove from Colorado and then 5 hours for you. And I imagine you guys are staying a little up and under from Luca, 14-8 Mavericks. Come on, baby. The vegan 3 cheese. That sounds, at this point, I haven't had any fast food or pizza or anything in like months. You know what? It wouldn't even really matter what I had. Even if I had anything vegan, I would be down. But I'm already eating kind of just vegetables as it is, anyways. For me, it's like a lot of Asian food. Whether it be noodles or rice or sushi or steamed vegetables. And eating warm vegetables and whatnot. But I don't really get a chance now to eat fast food or anything like that. But at some point I will. But it is what it is. DeAndre Ayton is out with a knee. Malcolm Brogdon is out with a knee. Jeremy Grant with a concussion. Ish Wainwright with an MCL sprain, and Robert Williams a third knee, pretty much out for the season. You're going to be back in the hospital. Prayers up for you. I just hate seeing people struggle with mental health or physical health. It's like we go through so many things throughout the year, and like I said, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere, where you think you're good. And then all of a sudden, you get in your own head or you have some struggles financially or whatever it may be with bills or how work is going. Or, for me, just, with the streaming process, having to rely on other people other than myself to be able to, make do. And sometimes if you have a supportive group, you're going to be fine. But if the group isn't as supportive, with likes and subs and donos and support, it can definitely get you down a very dark path. And, already having depression and anxiety is tough. And then having, a few rough streams in a row doesn't make it fucking any easier. It makes it worse. So, you just got to pray that if you have a few challenging streams, that you can at least have one good one to get you out of the funk and then hit the goal at least on one. So that way, if you do have 3 or 4 that are a little underwhelming, that you can at least feel that you're getting back on track. No one wants to work hard and put their blood, sweat, and tears and have like 5 or 6 in a row that are terrible. So, but again, I have to pray a lot. I have to have faith. I have to be able to talk to people in my life to keep me on point. And I got Paisley as well, so that really helps a lot. I got my friend Meg here in Oregon as well. That helps a lot too. So, you have to be able to talk it out sometimes. Otherwise, you're just going to be a fucking mess. And that's why this is good therapy for me. And I imagine good therapy for some of y'all too. And, I was contemplating, doing the stream today or tomorrow, but I know that, if I don't do it, initially, maybe I think I'll be better, but I know I'll be much worse. Luka for 3 and is good. God, we are getting raked out there. 24-10 Mavericks. Luka, unstoppable. Come on, baby. But again, when we have 3 of our starting 5 out or 3 of our starting 6 with like a 6-man, if you want to count Brogdon as a 6-man, very hard to compete with teams like this. West is incredibly deep. Scoot with an offensive foul. Scoot got the goggles going on, reminding me of my friend Day back in the day on my basketball team back in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. He ended up wearing those James Worthy goggles. Scoot's got the gogs going on. Luka makes it look so effortless out there. Even more effortless than Dirk when Dirk was out there for the Mavericks in years past. 26-10 Mavericks. Come on, baby. But at least I have realistic expectations. I kind of, going into this matchup, oh, golly, again? Man, Luka is on fire. Another 3. This is ridiculous. But, I kind of, going in, I knew this was going to be pretty challenging. And then we got the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Kraken tomorrow. So I have a little bit more faith there, but you never know. Another offensive foul by the Blazers. God, this is getting ugly. Come on, Anthony. But anything that we can get support-wise, like subs, donos, shares, on whether it be Twitter X or whatever it may be, everything counts. Everything matters. So anything that anybody can do would be greatly appreciated. And then hopefully we can, get some support from some of the mods. I mean, I might have to make some adjustments, with the mods and take mod status away from maybe some that aren't here on a regular basis anymore. I already did some cutbacks on that already and whatnot, but it is what it is. Hardaway. Golly, we are getting raked out here. 26-10 Mavericks. All right, we're on a commercial break. So anytime we're on a commercial break, if there's anything that you guys want to see that will boost your mental health, regardless if we get a dono or not. I mean, usually I do it for the donos, but if donos are light or if people, won't or can't show love, then I'll still end up, taking care of you guys, and hopefully at one point people will take care of me. So if there's anything that anybody wants to see, comment below. If you're on Twitter X, obviously you don't have the ability to do that. You can be watching, and shout out to everyone watching across the globe on Twitter X, but you're not able to comment or donate on that platform here yet, but hopefully they'll implement that feature sometime in the next couple years. Otherwise, if you're watching there, then you'll have to come here on the YouTube side, and then you can obviously donate there through the super chat. But technically, you could donate on Cash App on any platform. Obviously, you could see it below on the ticker. It's just a matter of if people want to or if they don't want to. Weather has been pretty good. Obviously, for us here in Oregon today, which is nice. We didn't have any rain, so that was good. Got a couple good walks in. Mental health was at a fucking zero earlier today, to be very honest. I was in a very dark place, but again, I just have to keep going. I just can't, I can't, I just can't have all that weight on my shoulders and then keep going deeper and deeper in the hole. You know what I mean? At some point, I have to keep pushing, even if I don't want to. So, so what Kermit the Frog we talking about? We talking Kermit, or are we talking Patrick Mahomes, baby? Yeah, I got you. And hopefully Patrick Mahomes can get his acting gear, because I don't know if I can trust him in fantasy, but I think it's going to probably be Sam Howell or Patrick Mahomes, and hopefully I can rely on those two to get me there. There you go. There you go. Once we get into another commercial break, I got you. Whatever, it'll make someone happy. It don't matter what it is, as long as it's PG, and I can do it on here. I will take care of everyone the best that I can. Mavericks with a steal. Breakaway dunk is good. I mean, this game is already over. 28-13. My God. I mean, I wanted it to just be at least like a little bit competitive. I mean, I don't want it to be already over, but I mean, Luka is something else. Come on, Blazers. Got to find a way. Nice breakaway dunk from the Mavs. 28-18, 30-18. It's just they just keep pouring it on. But again, even if we had all our guys healthy, Ayton and Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton, Jeremy Grant, and Malcolm Brogdon, we'd still probably be getting ripped up like this. There we go. There's my guy. Nice free by Shaden Sharp, baby. And they were going over all the Blazer players that have had the most improvement from last year to this year, from going from like year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3, for example. And the only person that has had a bigger increase in Trailblazer history from last year to this year, based on where they are in their career, is LaMarcus Aldridge. So Shaden Sharp and definitely good company. Nice reverse layup there by Scoot Henderson. Let's go, baby. Come on, Scoot. We need you. We need you to play like Dame, not play like a bench warmer. Let's go. I mean, out of summer league, we were hoping that Scoot would be Dame, and he clearly isn't. Hardaway fadeaway jumper is good. Oh, man, this is getting wild. I mean, you already know when it's like not even Kyrie and not Luka, and it's like Tim Hardaway Jr. and you're getting ripped up by him. It's gonna be a long night. Bank shot is no good. Get back on defense, Blazers. Don't be lazy. Floater. Kyrie with a floater is good. 32-18. Mavericks. Give it to Sharp, baby. Sharp at the top of the key. Hardaway with his first personal foul. Oh, nice. Old school vintage. I'm trying to think if I have anything old school vintage like that. The only thing I have is from my grandma who is passed away. She had one of those original GI Joes, like the huge ones, like back in the day, back in like the 50s, and the 60s, where they had like the big GI Joes, where they were like really big figures, and it was more of like a doll rather than like an action figure. But then it had like removable boots, removable clothes, and weapons and whatnot. So I got one of those in my collection, but that's probably the oldest thing that I have as far as being vintage like that. It's got like a beige jumpsuit, and it's from like the 50s and 60s. Pretty cool. Pretty good condition too. My grandma definitely took good care of it when she had it, and she wasn't even really a collector herself. But again, knowing that I'm a collector, getting it passed down, it was pretty neat. First free throw from the Mavs is good. 36-20 Mavericks. They're about to put up 40 on us here in the first quarter. Now, second free throw is good. 36-20 Mavericks. Come on now. Come on, Sharp. Sharp with a jumper. There we go. There we go. I mean, if it's only one thing that I can clap about all night, as long as Shaden Sharp gets his, as long as he can end up, putting up some good stats and entertain me after this debacle. And one. Guess who? Kyrie Irving doing Kyrie Irving things. Free throw is good by Kyrie. 37-22. End of the first quarter. Rough. Bad defense. Too much Luka. Too much Hardaway Jr. Too much Kyrie. Not enough healthy bodies out there. Nice layup by Scoot Henderson there at the end of the first quarter with that little replay. Cardinals doing work in the offseason. I wish the Mariners guy could say the same. I mean, the lack of making moves is very irritating. I guess we have been making moves, but nothing positive for Seattle. And then after getting rid of Kalanick and Teoscar and Eugenio Suarez, supposedly we were supposed to have like $50 million to spend. Now, supposedly we only have 20 because they did something with the books and we don't have any money to spend. So we got rid of a lot of good players and we don't have any money to get anybody good. So yeah, we're probably going to be fucking shitty next year. So not ideal. All right, 37-22, end of the first quarter. Anyone that wants any photos again, since we're at the end of the first quarter, comment below and I'll get you some photos. And then hopefully we can get some people to bless us on the channel. We've had 4 straight streams that have been very underwhelming, to say the least. There's other words that I could use, but I won't use them right now. And hopefully, we can get out of that hole. 2024 is just it's got to turn around. It's got to, especially with me doing, NFL, college football, NBA, NHL, NASCAR, UFC, boxing. I mean, all AEW, WWE, improving the thumbs and the scoreboard. I mean, at some point, some blessing needs to happen, to be able to, get the luck turned around or get into the algorithm or whatever it may be. But, you know, something good, something great needs to happen for us as we're going into 2024. 2022, fantastic. 2023, some good days, some amazing days, but we've also had a lot of days that have underwhelmed more than I would like to share. And my mental health can only take so much of a toll when that kind of shit happens. So especially when this is my full-time job and it's my legacy, and this is my life. So okay. Does he have any particular, like, what was his favorite fish to go for? Are we talking like trout or, bass? Like, what kind of fishing did he like to do? I mean, obviously, wicked tuna, I'm all about that life. But I can see if I can get some good nature photos here for you that will bring a little smile to him in the heavens. I mean, fishing out here in the Pacific Northwest is, you're not going to get too many places better in the United States that are going to be better for hunting and fishing than out here. We're getting started here in the second quarter from the commercial break, and I'll get some more for you at halftime. But I mean, imagine just even if you're not a hunter or a fisherman, to be able to see stuff like that, it's pretty amazing. Good for the mental health. And I think that's another part of me, like, not being around water. Because when I was with the ex-girlfriend, I had a river close to my house. So I would take Paisley there almost every day. And even if it was only for 10 or 20 minutes a day, it definitely made my mental health much, much better. And I don't have that access to go there anymore. So I still have some parks and some forest area, which is good, but it's not like water. Water heals the soul. That's why so many people, when they have a hard time, they like to go on vacation to a lake or a river, or to go camping, or to go to the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean or a lake or a river, depending on if you're in the Midwest and whatnot. So, all right, no problem. Heal up, and we'll get some photos for your grandpa, Sarah, for sure. And you heal up, Megan. And again, I'll be live tomorrow for the Kraken at 7 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. And hopefully we can cheer on the Kraken with a dub over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Something good has got to come out of these Blazer and Kraken streams, because out of the 10, 11, or 12 that we've done already, I think we only have like one win, maybe for the Blazers, maybe, and like one for the Kraken, and then like 3, 4, 5 losses with the Blazers, and like 4, 5, 6, 7 losses with the Kraken, and we need to be able to turn that around. So hope to see you too. Prayers up and get healthy, and keep a good positive mindset, the best that you can do. My prayers will be with you. 41-22 Mavericks. Horrible defense there by the Blazers. What's new? Kyrie, man. God, this is already a blowout already. All right, let me message a couple of my Blazer homies. I'll be like, bro, already? Are we terrible? Charles Barkley voice. – 41-22 Dallas. I said, game over already. And then, like, laughing emoji. I said, we terrible. Charles Barkley voice. Terrible. Brutal. Brutal. But I gotta be able to stay positive the best I can. You go through depression, you go through darkness, you go through, anxiety. Sometimes you just got to be able to find a way to get past it. Luckily, I go outside a lot, and I go with a lot of walks with my Paisley pup, and I'm walking about 2 hours a day. And I know if I wasn't doing that, I'm probably not streaming today, and probably not tomorrow either. But again, I got bills to pay, and and it's getting really stressful. In December, I was like, I can't even think about fucking getting Christmas gifts for anybody. I got to be able to take care of me first before I can even think about anybody else. So hopefully we can get blessed. 3-point attempt for the Mavs, in and out, no good. Nice rebound by Shaden Sharp. Come on, baby, push it up. Come on, Scoot. Reach in foul on Scoot Henderson. Yeah, but he ain't going to rush into it. Plus, there's a lot of money involved. We're not talking about, like a couple $1,000,000 a year. We're talking about maybe 50 million a year. We're talking about maybe like 500 million or $1 billion deal. Like it's going to be a lot of money. So, he's going to wait out his options, and he already might have a team in his head that he already wants to go to, but then he'll maybe make some trips with some other teams for leverage to get more money. I mean, if he can squeeze out an additional 10 million, or 50 million by just waiting an extra couple weeks, I mean, it's kind of smart to do that. I mean, no one else is ever going to be like Shohei Ohtani ever again. It's like the modern day Babe Ruth, but he's a better pitcher than Babe Ruth. Layup is good. Kyrie, golly. 45-28 Mavericks. Corner three by the Blazers is good. There we go. Luka at the top of the key. He's like, I got two guys on me, no problem. Kyrie swings it. Baseline. Nice pass. Incredible flush. Big dunk right in our face. Derek Lively. This one is ugly. 45-28 Mavericks. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see in between these commercial breaks. If you want to see anything, Sarah. I got those fishing photos. Let me see if I can get some fishing photos for your grandpa. It's always rough when we have family members, when they pass, and not an easy thing. But we can honor him a little bit here today. I'm not really necessarily a big fisherman per se, but living in Oregon, if I have an opportunity to go camping or hunt or fish, it's probably not going to be like my number one thing. Like obviously, I'd rather go to like a duck game or go to like a Mariner game, but depending on who it's with, yeah, I definitely would like to take advantage of that. And I try to go a couple times a year. All right, back from the commercial break. Yeah, and well, anytime you can get Juan Soto, added to the roster and Trent Grisham, that's definitely going to help. Not in the building. What's good? Go Ducks. Lots of photos of Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. and Jaden Daniels and Maserati Marv there in New York for the Heisman, festivities and whatnot. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate the support, and that's how it's supposed to be, with friends, someone posts something, you like it, and someone posts something and then you post something. Someone posts something, you post something. So, you support me, I support you. That's how it goes. Plus, we're going to have more information on the Ducks than pretty much anybody else. So, we're going to have that inside information, and hopefully we end up figuring out, with Gabriel and where everywhere else falls. I mean, I still think I would rather have Cam Ward, but if we have no chance and he's going to go to Ohio State more than likely, then Dylan Gabriel is going to be one of the top 10 guys in the transfer portal, and he's a lefty. That would be very unique, for us for Oregon. I'm not really sure when the last time we had a lefty. It's been a while, and I'm down for it. I mean, like I said, I ended up watching the Red River Shootout, when Oklahoma beat Texas, and he's got some skills, and like I said, we'll have to see on how many other people transfer in, transfer out, but we still got that bowl game with Liberty. Oh wow, rebound dunk, lively with the rebound dunk is no good. Here we go, Blazers, 45-35, Mavericks. I should be in a Snapple commercial one of these days, you know. But the sad thing is that the support has been so light. I can't even afford to get it. I got to drink water out of the Snapple bottle. I can't even get a Snapple. So hopefully one day, people will actually appreciate me and show love, where I can actually go and buy a Snapple and not drink water. And that's not me being funny, me being honest. So we've had I don't know how many streams. I don't want to necessarily use the word terrible, but the last 4 streams have not been kind. It definitely can put you in a depression or anxiety mode, and it doesn't make you feel good not feeling loved or appreciated for doing something that you're leaving a legacy behind. So Anthony Simons with the jumper. I saw that. He's trying to take one of his players with him. But hopefully we can, get some GOAT support. Having like 10 heavy hitters, and then going from 10 to maybe 8 to 5 to 1, and then sometimes with none showing up. That's a real shitty feeling, man. But again, I have to keep positive and just hope that these people that aren't showing up, realizing that they are hurting the channel by not only showing up, but it's one thing to not donate, but it's also another thing to not donate and not even show up at all. And, it's definitely affecting, the channel. And, I will have to make some changes, with the mods, and hopefully we can get some people that, can bankroll the channel and that can be consistent. Like, I don't think a lot of these people realize by them not showing up, even if they can't donate, they're really hurting the channel. For other channels, it may not be that big of a deal, but for us here, it really means a lot, and it hurts us more than anybody. Come on, Simons. Going to the line. Chris in the building. What's good? Shit, I need me an NIL deal. Otherwise, I'm going to be homeless. Free throw is good. One player that made me fall in love with college football. That one's easy for me. It's Joey Harrington. In that era with Bilotti, in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, I was already watching him for a long time when I was younger, but no one really captivated my interest in duck football to that level until Joey Harrington. And then obviously LaMichael and DeAnthony and Mariota and Herbert. But the first one that really got me excited, and a Haloti Ngata. I mean, I can go on and on and on. DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead. I mean, going through all the guys, Patrick Chung and Walter Thurman III. But really the main one was Joey Harrington, no doubt. That was the one that made me really fall in love, with duck football to another level. Like, I already loved it, but then it took my love to another level, and it took us to a level of success that we've never seen before either. Big facts. And one of the main reasons I ended up buying an Oregon Duck replica helmet, the dark green one with the yellow O, was because of Joey Harrington. I would like to wear it on a stream sometime, but again, having a green screen doesn't really allow me to wear anything green or yellow. So, which is a good chunk of my stuff that I own. But at least I was able to get the throwback sewn Harrington jersey, like in Ohio for like $30 when it's like a $200 to $300 jersey because it's so rare. I don't think the guy knew what he had, but this is exact jersey I have, minus the patch. But they Nike, when he was in his Heisman run, they actually did a few of the Heisman candidates, and they actually made sewn jerseys with the name sewn in the back for just a couple players back for Nike in that time period. And one of the guys was Joey Harrington, and to be able to get this jersey, for $30 on eBay from a guy in Ohio at a garage sale when I would have paid $200 or $300 for it, but he didn't know what he had. And and then obviously that exact helmet that he's wearing, that's the helmet that I own. And we got to make sure we got the duck. We got to have the duck representation proper here. There we go. There we go. He made me fall in love with duck football to like another level. Big facts. And remember, protect your mental health to the fullest. You only have one, and if you're not looking out for yourself, you can go into a very, very dark path. It's not like Dexter with a dark passenger, but you can get into a very dark place, and it's very hard to climb out. So I was in a very dark place this morning, and I didn't have a couple conversations or spent time with Paisley, I probably wouldn't have done this stream today. And even though we still haven't gotten any love and we're almost at halftime, I still have to be positive and keep the faith. Nobody deserves to be treated the way that I get treated on a regular basis, but hopefully the right people will come into the channel at the appropriate time and will bless us. Air ball from the corner, but of course the Mavs get the offensive board. Matt's like, "Oh, I'm gonna list off every Duck player." Oh my God, and won by the Mavericks. You got to be kidding me. Derrick Jones Jr. Ridiculous. And then Sarah, Cyber, and Matt helping out on the Twitter X side. As far as coach, I mean, Rich Brooks and Mike Bellotti were great, but I mean, we were never going to probably see anybody like Chip Kelly ever again. Nice jumper. There we go, baby. Anthony Simons with the jumper. 48-41. There we go. Get that board. And then a foul over the back. But I would say Chip Kelly, easy. I don't think there's anybody. I mean, we all loved Bellotti, but it's like Bellotti to me was kind of like, for being a Buck fan also, was kind of like Tony Dungy. It was a guy that was safe. He was smart, you know what I mean? But he didn't really take a lot of risks, and he wasn't like an innovator and a game changer. And then when we got Gruden, that's what got us over the top. And then Dungy ended up getting his ring for Sarah's Colts. And I was glad that he got to go with Peyton and was able to be conservative and play there and get the dub. But like for us, here in Oregon, it's like Bellotti was like the safe guy, kind of like the grandpa, that uncle that you really like, the funkle, But then when we got Chip, it was like that innovator like Gruden. And sometimes you need that innovator to be able to take your game to the next level. And that's, how we were able to have success, not only for Tampa to get their first Super Bowl in 2002, but also with Chip Kelly, giving us a 4-year run that we will never forget with the Rose Bowl, Natty, Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, and that probably will never be duplicated ever again. So. $52.42 Mavericks. And if the Blazers can cut this down to like 7 by halftime, get that board. Sharp. There we go. Follow your shot. Go up. And they fouled them. There we go. $54.46 Mavericks. Come on, Blazers. Deep three, no good. Get that board. Wow. Derrick Jones hit the side of the backboard, got his own rebound, and flushed it with a big dunk. I mean, our defense is not in our repertoire for sure. And we obviously don't have DeAndre Ayton to plug up some of those, big guys coming in for those dunks. Oh, there we go. Nice three. My Thibault. And then we have what Jeremy Grant is got still in concussion protocol, so we don't have him either. It's just tough when you don't have some of your guys that you really need to be able to be competitive out there. And then big fall there, and then Malcolm Brogdon is out also too. hard to be able to win games and be competitive when 3 of your top 6 guys are out. But at least right now, we're not down by 20 or 30. We got 2 Mavericks down on the ground. That kind of Kyrie is down, and another player for the Mavs is shaken up. All right, a little bit of a timeout as they clear up, the injuries there. And then again, tomorrow we'll end up doing the Kraken and the Tampa Bay Lightning at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Then I'll try to do maybe a couple reaction videos on Sunday. And then we got the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football, which actually is going to be a pretty damn good matchup as far as the NFL games this weekend. Let's take a quick peek again. And we are starting to get into the fantasy football playoffs. This is the last week. So either you're in the playoffs already or you need to get a dub this week, depending on your league. In the fantasy football league here on the channel, everyone was already in the playoffs, 2 weeks ago. So we'll see what happens out of the 10-man league. But we got Bucks, Falcons, Colts, Bengals, Jags, Browns, Texans, Jets, Rams, Ravens, Lions, Bears, Panthers, Saints, Vikings, Raiders, but we get Jay Jetta back, which will be pretty sweet to see if he's actually 100% out there. And then the good games. We got Seahawks, Niners, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, Broncos, Chargers. I don't know about that one. And then Packers, Giants, and then Titans, Dolphins. So you got 3 really good games in the Eagles, Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs, and Seahawks, Niners. But I would assume the Niners will win at home. The Chiefs will win at home, you would think, unless the Bills, win on the road. And Mahomes has not played good this year. Overall, not really Mahomes, but it's really more the wide receivers have been dropping a lot of the balls. They got the most drops in the NFL. So let me rephrase that. Mahomes has actually played pretty well. It's just that if those guys wouldn't have dropped all those footballs, the stats would be much better. But still, to even the Mahomes standard, there has been, a few games that could have been a little better, not very Mahomes-ish. And then we got the Eagles-Cowboys might be the best game out of them all. And the Cowboys will actually have a shot to win that game. They're favored for the first time by 3.5 over Philly. So, well, there's a lot of injuries at the quarterbacks too. So it's a lot of backups playing backups. So it's kind of disgusting if you actually look at all the players that have gotten hurt, this season. When you have like Jake Browning out there, even though he played really good against the Jags, I mean, that's not really going to get people out of their seats or want to, have people go out of their way. Kyrie's going back to the locker room now. They'll have to do a little bit of a diagnosis on him. I don't know if he'll be coming back in the game, but hopefully he'll be okay. Kyrie with 11 and 2, 4 for 6 for field goals for Kyrie before the injury. But I am concerned about Joshua Dobbs. I want to be able to see what happens with him. Hopefully he ends up not getting pulled. I can't have a 4-interception game like he had against the Bears, especially if I want to use him in fantasy. Otherwise, it'll just be Mahomes and Sam Howell, and I got to roll the dice with those 2 guys and pray that they can get me, 17 points or more. I can't afford a 4 or a 5 or a 9 in fantasy, not in the playoffs. Layup is good. 58-49 Mavericks. At least the Blazers are hustling. Come on, Shaden Sharp. Off the glass, no good. Shaden Sharp going to the line. Yeah, and I know, we were frustrated, with the Washington loss and everything like that, but I'm still going to end up doing Matt the Liberty and the Ducks. It's not ideal. We literally got the shaft. We got the worst, possible. I mean, at first I was, like Missouri and all these other ones. I was like, that's going to be shitty, right? But now, getting Liberty, I'm thinking, shit, I would have now, much rather played Missouri or any of those other ones that ended up, we literally got the worst matchup out of them all. We're the only team to play in a bowl game against an opponent that's not even in the top 15. Everyone else is in like the top 15 playing each other. And then we got what is Liberty, 23? So that's kind of shitty, but it is what it is. But I still will do the bowl game. At least it'll give us one last opportunity to see Bo Nix and appreciate what he's done for us. I don't know about Troy Franklin and some of the others. They may opt out, but if Bo is playing, there is a good possibility that him and the coaching staff might convince these other players. Because if any player would have a right to sit out, it's Bo. But if Bo is going to play because he loves college football, then maybe all the other guys that were considering saying, nah, like Jackson Powers, who got the award for being the best center in college football. No surprise to me. I already knew he was the best center in football, and I wouldn't mind drafting someone like that on my team, moving forward. And we'll see if the Seahawks, try to pick up any of these players from the Huskies or the Ducks this year. But there's definitely a lot of talent that could help, your favorite NFL team based off the Huskies and the Ducks. The players are pretty good this year. Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., on top of, Jackson Powers, Troy Franklin, Roma Dunzier, and a few others. $63.53 Mavericks. I hope he plays. I mean, he's awesome, man. I mean, when's the last time we had the best center in the country? I don't think ever. I mean, we had Max Unger, but I don't know if he was ever considered the best center in college football that year when he came out. He was one of the best centers, but I'm not sure if he was actually the best center, in college football at that time. But bank shot is good by Luca. Like that would be a jersey that I would buy. You know what I mean? Like to get like most people would go for like a Bo Nix, even though he's wearing the same number as Herbert and whatnot, or like a Thibodeau jersey from a couple years ago. But to get like a Jackson Powers jersey, oh, I would love to have something like that. I love offensive line. I love offensive line and linebackers and safeties and defense. And if there was ever an offensive player on the line to get, it's fucking Jackson Powers. So hell, I don't even think they make it available for you to purchase. But even at the Duck store, I don't. They don't make lineman jerseys. But that would be something that I definitely would purchase unless I was able to purchase a game used jersey. If he was willing to get rid of one, like on eBay or something, that would be something that if I ever had money, to get one, that would be cool. 3 is good. Kamara, 65-58 Mavericks. Offensive foul on the Mavericks. Here we go. Where's the foul? Come on. Ooh, rebound dunk there by the Mavs, but no good. Exum, 68-50. At least we're keeping it close. Again, the magic number, I think, for the Blazers would be being down by 7 or 8 at halftime would give us a shot. Realistically, we're not going to win this game. Like every time we watch a Blazer game on stream or a Kraken, we get our ass kicked, it seems like every fucking time. But at some point, we're going to have to, at least get hopefully lucky. And Kyrie might be out for the rest of the game. So maybe we can come back. But Sharp goes to the bench. Mavericks on the fast break, cherry picking motherfuckers. Come on now. Always cherry picking the Mavericks. Easy to get points when no one's playing defense and you got a guy already at half court. $71-60 Mavericks. Come on, Blazers, finish strong. There we go. Kamara. 2-for-1 opportunity for Luka here. Luka for three. Looks like Luka got fouled for three, but they didn't call it. Not really sure what Luka's wearing for a headband. It kind of looks like a like a very thin piece of material that he's wearing. I don't even know what necessarily you would call that. I mean, that type of style of band that you wear in your hair, normally you see girls wearing in junior high and in high school. But hey, whatever works for him. It's Luka Doncic, whatever the fuck he wants to wear. If he wants to wear, any type of kind of fucking hair tie in his hair, whatever he wants, he can do it. Come on, Scoot. Exum with a good defense there. Get past him, Scoot. Pass it. Intercepted. Hardaway for three. No good. And we're at halftime now, 71-60 Mavericks. All right, we're at halftime. Let me know what you want to see for photos. If you want to do ducks or whatever you want, Sarah, Matt, whatever you guys are thinking, or anybody else that's in there, you let me know. And obviously, we know Sarah's grandpa passed away, so she's there with all the family relatives. So we'll end up showing some photos of some fishing and whatnot to honor his passing and whatnot, and I can throw up some duck photos and some other things as well. I mean, even just looking at the water makes me feel better. And like I said, when I, was in that other situation with that toxic ex that I was with, and I was living by, the Tualatin River, and it was in walking distance, about 5 minutes from my house with Paisley. So it was kind of nice where we were able to go on walks every day. And if I wanted to, I could go down underneath the bridge towards this little river area and be able to post up. And I even ended up bringing one of these chairs that I got from a person that lived nearby, and I posted it up in the grassy area, this little fishing hole. And so that way, if I wanted to go there and just kind of stare off and relax with Paisley and, kind of regain my mental health a little bit, it definitely made me feel good. So water is healing. You best believe. It's always good, when you get into a dark place and you can climb out of it. Shout out to Meg, for helping me climb out of the darkness. Things get tough, especially when things are out of your control. Then you have to rely on other people to be able to survive. And, it definitely gets tough. But I appreciate you climbing me out of the hole and talking with me. And like I said, I was very close of not even doing this stream. And maybe if I didn't do this stream tonight, maybe I don't do the stream tomorrow. But I know every stream that I decide to pass on, it's not going to be good for my mental health. Initially, it may feel like it's going to be better, but I know it's going to end up being worse, and then it's going to be even longer for me to climb out of the hole. So shout out to Meg. I appreciate you for helping me climb out of the hole, and hopefully, we'll get some people to show some love and support, moving forward. All right, McDonald's halftime report. And anyone that's in the room, anything that you want to see, let me know. Comment below any type of photos that you want to see. 71-60 Mavericks are up at halftime. All right, let's take a quick look at the scores here, and I'll wait for people to comment below on if anything that they want to see photo-wise. Anything to be able to help anybody's mental health. I got you. All right, we'll start off with the NBA, and then we'll go into the NHL. All right, final scores: Bulls 121, Spurs 112, Thunder 138, Warriors 136 in OT. These are all final scores. T-Wolves 127, Grizzlies 103, Cavs 111, Heat 99, Celtics 133, Knicks 123, Nets 124, Wizards 97. And then Sixers 125, Hawks 114, Magic 123, Pistons 91. And then 119, 116, the Hornets over the Raptors. Mavericks up by 11, 71-60 at halftime in this game that we're doing right now. And then we only have a few other games else that are on. 59-46 Clippers up on the Jazz by 13 at halftime on ESPN. We got Kings 114, Suns 102, Rockets 103, Nuggets 93. And then let's go with the NHL. Only 3 games on tonight. Final score: Blue Jackets 5, Blues 2, Panthers 3, Penguins 1, a final. And then we got Oilers 4, Wild 3 in the third period with 6 minutes left. So I'm going to go to food if no one is suggesting anything. And then let me know. No word on Kyrie yet. If you get into a rut and you end up having mental health issues like I do, and you go through depression, you go through anxiety, nothing better than to be able to look at some HD 4K food on the NWSF. Burnt ends. And again, I'm going to go down this food rabbit hole, but if there's anything else that you want to see food wise, or even if it's not food, just let me know, and I got you, and I'll be able to go from there. Flavor Town right there. I mean, I wish I could eat stuff like this, but not in that position. Marvin Harrison Jr. All right, we can throw that up. He said 98 degrees, whatever you want, brother. If that makes you happy, we got you. And I would assume Jaden Daniels is going to win the Heisman. I'd be shocked if anyone else wins it. Marv ain't going to win it, because wide receivers typically are not going to win it, even though we had Devontae Smith win it, a couple years ago. But I don't know. Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. had amazing seasons, but I think they're going to give it to Jaden Daniels, and I think that'll be good because maybe Jaden Daniels can win the Heisman and it won't affect him in the pros. Over Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr., if you win the Heisman, it might affect them, and I don't want to see them affected in the pros by it. So the Fred Biletnikoff Award. I'm not cutting corners, so we got to get that Ohio State logo up there too. Can't wait to be able to be rivals with them in Michigan. I know. Right in his hand. Perfect. He's got Ohio State just right in his hand. He got the whole world in his hands. Man, I miss Bray Wyatt. I see you, Maserati Marv. Man, him in fantasy next year. Oh my, you know your boy will try to get him for sure. It won't even matter what team he goes to. He's going to be fun. But I don't think anyone thought anyone else was going to win the Biletnikoff Award. I mean, I already kind of had a feeling that was a done deal. Jackson Powers is getting the award for being the best center. I thought that was kind of a done deal. And then Heisman should go to Jaden Daniels. I'd be really shocked if it goes to Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. Are they deserving of the award? All four are deserving, but you know they normally are going to go quarterback. There we go. I mean, it's been very very rough. It's been very very tumultuous. It's been you know depression and anxiety are already hard enough to be able to battle on a daily basis, and you just want to be able to feel loved and supported. And I appreciate you, Cyberpunk. It means a lot. Things have been very 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 light in 2023 compared to 2022 and December. Just to be honest, has been terrible. It's, like I said, it has not been good. But thank you so much for your generosity and everything that you do for the channel. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $100 dono, baby. Thank you, man. Electric, man. And like I said, when you do streams and you don't get appreciated and you don't get loved and you get a 0 or you get a 1 or you get a 2 or you get a 5, it definitely makes you not want to stream. It makes you not feel good. It makes you want to quit. It makes you feel unappreciated, and it's a shitty feeling when this is my dream and this is my legacy. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you very very much. I'm going to throw up some key photos. I'm not sure if he'll be hopping in for a minute or if he's busy. Um, but thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. And then we'll get some photos up there for you too. So one sec here, Matt. All right. So we went from burgers. Cyberpunk, I appreciate you, man. Very, very much. I'm gonna throw up a couple photos up here for Matt, and then I'll get some photos where I don't know how long you can stay. If you're, obviously not everyone is gonna, support when we do basketball or hockey, or we're doing something else like for filler content when we don't have NFL games on. But yeah, things have been very, very tough, and I appreciate you, man. I mean, the last thing I want to do is to get in a rut and have depression and anxiety take over my life. So anything specific that you want to be able to see? You can hang for a little bit. What do you want to see? You want wrestlers? You want chief players? How are you feeling? Like, what's your take on the Chiefs now? Obviously, Mahomes. It's not all his, fault. Even though the media may want to portray Mahomes as not Mahomes. I mean, it's obviously, they need the tight ends and the wide receivers to catch the football as they're number one in drops. So once they clean that up, they could still end up making the AFC Championship game in the Super Bowl. The biggest threat to them right now, to me, is the Miami Dolphins, and I even said that a few weeks back. Ravens don't have Mark Andrews. The Jags just lost Trevor Lawrence, and even if he comes back, I thought those were the only other teams that might be able to do something. And as long as Mark Andrews is hurt, Lamar's banged up, Trevor Lawrence is banged up. Even if the Chiefs, struggle a little bit at wide receiver and tight end, they're still good enough, especially with that defense, to make the Super Bowl again, or to play the Miami Dolphins possibly in the AFC championship game. So 71-63. But let me know if there's anything that you want to be able to see. Yeah, man, it's just, like I said, it's one thing to, like, if you have like an off stream, and then you just try to stay positive. Okay, the next day will be better, but like, when you got, bills to pay and like rent and food and Paisley and it's like I can't even buy anything for myself. That's like totally out of the question. All I'm trying to do is pretty much stay above, tread water. I'm just trying to be able to survive, and even that has been very, very difficult. And the lack of people showing up and the lack of support has been frightening. And I just try to be able to stay as positive as I can. But it's like we had a point where we would have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goats in the room, and then other times people are going through different things, and I get it. People lose their job, people pass away, other things happen, but to go from like 10 heavy hitters to 8 to 6 to 5 to sometimes not even having one show up, and even if they can't donate, just showing up and saying hello and not even being able to get that, I mean, it hurts, and I think it's kind of hurt the channel overall. And but we do really appreciate your support and your love that you can provide to the channel, man. It's been very, very difficult. You're nervous. Yeah. I think the only team that you guys would lose to is the Dolphins. I mean, really, right now, the only teams I could see in the AFC is the Chiefs and the Dolphins. And at this point, I would say Dolphins 1, Chiefs 2. But if the Dolphins have any kind of injuries to Tyreek or Tua or a couple more defensive players, then it will be dead even. But I think at this point, the Chiefs are going to have, Reed and Mahomes and Kelsey, but the offense for the very first time has looked very lackluster, and it makes me nervous. I mean, I got Mahomes in fantasy, and I can't even start him every week. I got Joshua Dobbs and Sam Howell, thank God, and I'm still 11-2. I'm in first place, and I feel I'm going to have a good chance to win it all. But it's like the confidence level of Mahomes is like set it and forget it. I can't even do that. Like there's certain weeks where I can't even count on him. Either a good defensive matchup against a rival like Denver, who's starting to play a little bit better as of late. But hopefully they can get back into a groove, not only for my fantasy sake, but for all the Chiefs fans out there, including yourself. But for whatever reason, if you guys don't make the Super Bowl, or if you lose to Miami, eventually, next year you'll make the proper adjustments, and hopefully you'll be the same team that you were prior to this year. So, But let me know what you want to do for photos. Obviously, this game is pretty much already over as it is. So let me know what you want to see photo wise, and I can throw up some photos here. I don't think anyone is really going to care because there'll be some people on Twitter and X watching and whatnot. But like I said, I want to take care of the people that are trying to at least fucking support me. So. But if you got any wrestlers or Chief players, just comment below, and I can throw those up for you for the few minutes that you're going to be here. Yeah, and obviously neutral site, it was one thing, and obviously, like being in Germany, but like the way that the Dolphins are playing now, and also it's, Xavier Howard, being healthy, Jalen Ramsey's healthy, he's getting a pick in almost every game. So they did have a few injuries, but overall, it seems like they're kind of turning the corner now, and they're a different team than what they were prior. So. But I agree with that. If you had to go on the road, it'd be much tougher. But we obviously know Kansas City in the playoffs is a different atmosphere. Playoff football is going to be different. But, right now it feels like Eagles, Niners, those are the two there. And then obviously Chiefs and Dolphins in the AFC. And then there'll be a few other teams that people want to talk about, like the Cowboys. But every year we always talk about the Cowboys, and then they have this good record, and they talk Dak, 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 and then they get to the playoffs and they lose in the first round. But maybe this year is a different year, but we have to kind of wait and see. So I'm going to start off with a few Chief photos, and then if you have anything that you want to see wrestling wise, have you been watching wrestling on a regular basis, or have you been too busy to watch? What's been going on in the life of Cyberpunk? Have you watched the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer? I assume you've watched that. Have you been playing video games? I know you've been working a lot. Oh, it looks amazing, don't it? Besides the Dolphins, anybody else worry you? I mean, even the Ravens are hit or miss, Jags are hit or miss. But again, if they don't have Trevor healthy and they don't have Mark Andrews, even if the Chiefs play like shit on offense, I think you can win because your defense is good enough. And Mahomes may not throw for 3, 4 touchdown passes like in years past, or even last year without Tyreek. But if he can throw for one and run one in, or throw for two and don't have more than 2 picks, they can still beat the Ravens and the Jags and everyone else in the AFC. Really, the only one that worries me is the Dolphins. I mean, I know they're kind of a new thing, but again, if the offense was playing more like last year, then I would say, yeah, the Chiefs are probably going to get there again. And they still could. But it'll be very interesting to see what we get this year. Like if we end up getting the Miami Dolphins versus the 49ers, the Miami Dolphins versus the Eagles, or if the Chiefs get in there and it's Chiefs versus Eagles or Chiefs versus Niners this year. But I would love to be able to feel like Patrick Mahomes in this photo. My mental health has been getting bashed in the ground. Not only this month, but last month and every month in 2023. So, I just want to be able to feel good again. And hopefully 2024 will be better. 65-69 Mavericks. Right. But as we go further into the playoffs, do you think that's going to still stay the same? Like I said, if the Ravens don't have Mark Andrews And the Jags, have Trevor Lawrence and he's banged up, and they have a kind of a well-rounded roster like the Ravens. So even though they haven't beaten anybody with a winning record, right? But the way that they've been playing within the last, maybe month or so, and actually getting, some of their corners back that were injured all year, I think that is going to make a difference. With Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, will it end up making the biggest difference and helping them elevate? I don't know, but what I do know is they look a lot better. I did see that. Yeah, no, you have a few injuries there. No Pacheco. I hope you guys beat the Bills, but I saw that. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerick McKinnon will get more time, but I hope you guys can still end up getting the dub. And there's not a lot of good matchups on the weekend, but the Bills and Chiefs is one, Eagles Cowboys is another, and then also the Seahawks and the Niners. Pacheco has been amazing. That's been like the one bright spot on the offense. And like moving forward, like he's the guy. Like very cut and dry, very clear. He's awesome. I know a lot of people will be looking at him in fantasy next year. I wish I could have got him in fantasy. Unfortunately, the only cheap player I was able to get was Patrick Mahomes. And I did have an opportunity to get Rashee Rice, but it's like I need to be able to see him get more targets than I already have. Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Mike Evans. So it didn't really make any sense for me to get Rashee Rice. Now, if he was able to get more targets, and on a consistent basis, and Mahomes was playing better, then I would have already scooped him up weeks ago. But hopefully, you guys will have the proper game plan. You guys are at home at Arrowhead instead of on the road, and the Bills haven't been very good. But you never can count out Josh Allen. It seems like he was always going to bring his A game prior to this year. Now it's like every third or fourth game he brings it, and we'll see if he actually brings it. Coming up here this weekend. But I will be watching. I'll be rooting for you guys. For this really cool collage. All right, hold on, I gotta delete a couple. This Pacheco collage is pretty cool. 84-74 Mavericks in the third quarter. Come on, Sharp. Simons in and out, no good. Both team needs the game desperately. Maybe the Bills even more desperately than you, but you got to think about home field advantage and trying to just have the best record possible. So equally, they need it desperately. I mean, Buffalo needs to get it if they want to have any chance of making the playoffs. But maybe you guys need it even more. Just based on how the season has gone. Just to gain confidence. Over all the other teams in the AFC. Have you been watching wrestling at all? Have you been keeping up on that at all? AEW or WWE? Yeah. Do you watch both or do you just watch one? Yeah, are you working days still? You're not working at nights. Ooh, big flush by the Mavericks. We're going into a timeout now. 86-74 Mavericks, WWE. You got anything wrestling wise that you want to see? Days still. Any new video games that you've purchased in the last month or so since I've talked to you? Since I've talked to you last? I haven't been able to see too many things of like Bam Bam Bigelow or Vader or Bo Jackson, but anytime I come across it on my timeline or I find it myself, I usually try to shoot it your way. I got a couple other buddies that are really in that same era as us too that really appreciate that type of stuff. So that's a cool one with Cactus Jack. Yeah, I did. I didn't do the stream on it. We were gonna do the stream on it, but I watched it and I ended up doing the Kraken, and the Kraken lost or whatever. So I'm trying to sprinkle in a little bit of hockey and basketball, kind of for filler stuff. And that was one of the first times I actually did hockey over the NFL. But I mean, Patriots Steelers. I mean, I don't know if anything worse that could have been besides maybe Patriots Jets or Patriots Giants, but I had a feeling that it would be better than what people were thinking it would be. Some people were thinking it would be like 6-3 or 9-6 or 13-10. So it ended up being a little bit better, but still kind of a shitty game. I usually have to watch everything just because, I like to keep up on everything. Yeah, but I mean, I already knew it was going to be pretty terrible. I mean, the Patriots are probably one of the most unwatchable teams in the NFL. I would rather watch the Giants and the Jets. Steelers. I mean, that was a game that they probably should have won, but no Kenny Pickett. Trubisky's terrible. Got Zappy. He actually played pretty good. Mac Jones is terrible. So, I mean, obviously, when you have like two backup quarterbacks going out, it's not ideal. But there's been so many injuries with the quarterbacks this season. That's just kind of a reality right now, where we got like 8, 9, 10 quarterbacks, out of 32 that are backups. So, oh, terrible play calling at the end. Terrible. Mike Tomlin has lost back-to-back games to teams that only have like 2 wins, the Cardinals and the Patriots. So some people are calling for his head, but I'm not sure if he deserves to be fired since he's been to the playoffs or had a winning record every year, possibly besides this year. But I know if they end up firing him, I mean, I know teams like Tampa and other teams would scoop him up right away. And he does have Tampa Bay Buccaneer ties for being a secondary coach for us years ago, and I would love to have him. If the Steelers were to fire him, but I highly doubt that would happen. And then there's a lot of rumors that Billy B. Belichick would get fired, and he's tanking, trying to get Drake May or his future quarterback and whatnot. But I don't see them firing Belichick. He'll stay until he wants to leave or retire. I don't see him coaching for any other organization. So 86-76, 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Blazers getting ripped up as usual. Yeah, I think they are trying to tank, especially when you end up putting up a 0 against the Chargers. It's like I think openly they're trying to get their franchise quarterback. Mac Jones ain't it. Zappy ain't it. And I honestly think that they were pissed that they won the game against the Steelers. They wanted to be able to do, enough to make it look like they weren't tanking. And so, obviously getting Zeke with that touchdown early. But I really think that, they're trying to tank without openly saying they're tanking out of all the teams in the NFL. So because this upcoming draft has got a lot of quarterback potential. Yeah, Kyrie is out. He got hurt and fell down and hurt his leg and his back, and he went to the locker room about 3 minutes before um, the second quarter ended. I don't think he's coming back. Let me take a quick look to see if there's any updates here. $91-81. Bang! Oh no, he is actually back in there now. So they must have worked on it. Now they just got him in there. So Kyrie is in. But he was out with about 3-4 minutes left. I guess they did some treatment, and then he's back out there now. Good steal by the Blazers. Come on, baby. It was the worst game you've ever watched. Yeah, it definitely was one of the worst games that I've watched as well. Luckily, I had at least the hockey in the background too. What I did in the Kraken game, and being a Pacific Northwest fan is pretty rough. It's like the Kraken lose almost every fucking night. The Blazers lose almost every night. There's not a whole lot of hope there. So I mean, at the very least, it's like at least I want to see some good Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. But like we know, a lot of times 2 out of the 3 nights, the matchups end up being kind of shitty. Usually you have one night that ends up being pretty good, but yeah, it was definitely tough to watch. But if there's anything that you want to be able to see, photo wise, while I'm casually calling this game and just watching this game and whatnot, just holler cyber because I know you probably don't have too much more time to kick it and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, any time that in your busy schedule, if you even if you could stop in for a little bit, would be awesome. I know a lot of the mods and other regulars miss you. 94-82 Mavericks. Blazers defense terrible, rebounding terrible, offense terrible. I mean, how many offensive rebounds are we going to give Dallas? 4? Fuck. Unbelievable. Well, Matt, you're not in the NFL, so I don't know about your play calling skills. But I appreciate you, Cyberpunk, man, more than you know. It's just I was in a very dark place this morning too. So, like, I can only have so many in a row before I really start going down into the gutter. It's one thing to have like one stream that's bad, but then if you have 2 and then 3 and then 4, it's like you almost feel like you're never going to get out of that hole. And I can't be fake. I can't put on a fake smile. I have to, I have to feel it. I have to try to be in a good mood and whatnot. Because obviously, if my mental health is fucked, there's no way I can stream. There's just absolutely no way I can function. So, and I'm still exercising with Paisley. I got her to lose quite a bit of weight. I don't know. Let me see if I can show you here. So ever since I broke up with the ex girlfriend, and I've been out of there since July, and I've been able to lose about 60 or 70 pounds myself. Since COVID, and this is the probably the slimmest that I've been. 97-87 Mavericks, but this is what Paisley looked like: overweight, fat, unhappy, not being able to get enough exercise or love in a toxic situation, right? And I've been walking with her, trying to, get my mental health on a good note, and and I'm losing weight, she's losing weight, so you can see how big and thick she's is right there with her like stomach and everything. And then now with walking with her for about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day, now this is what she looks like. So she's happy, she's loved. Dad loves her, and we're doing a lot of exercise. But obviously, to get a dog to lose about 15 or 20 pounds in a human weight, that's like 50 to 100 pounds. So it makes me feel good. We're going to add some years of life to her life by getting her on a good diet and obviously walking, 3 times a day, for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes each time around. And yeah, it feels good to be able to get her at an appropriate weight. And I know she's happy now. And I'm much happier now, too. Referee talking to Tim Hardaway there. Down by 7. Come on, Blazers. That's the key. Yeah, but that Patriots Steeler game was fucking terrible. I mean, again, that's the first time that I decided to do a hockey game, and if the Kraken weren't on, I would have done it. But I figured that I would enjoy probably doing the Kraken game, and I still was able to call about a quarter and a half, like third quarter and fourth quarter, and then they had a hockey game that went late with the Stars and the Caps, so I still was able to like kind of cover both games and even call both games at the same time. But golly, that was a very rough game to watch. Only thing worse could have been New England and the Jets, and probably New England and the Giants would have been the worst. But you know, New England and Pittsburgh was definitely one of the worst three for sure, and it probably was the worst matchup of the year. There we go, big three there. Let's go, baby. End of the third quarter, 97-90. We're down by 7. Let's go. Any other photos that you want to see here during the commercial break? Let me know. All right, we're going into the fourth quarter. I'll get you a couple duck photos, Matt. We'll get you some duck photos. At least the Blazers got it down by 7. I highly doubt that we're going to win, but at least we're not getting blown out by 27. I guess that we have to keep it in perspective. I am going to miss Bo. He ended up doing much better than I ever anticipated. All right, come on, Blazers. $97-93. Let's go, baby. Closest we've been all game. I mean, if we could get a miracle win here, this would be awesome. I'm not holding my breath, though. 99, 93. Come on, Blazers. And you already know Luka is going to be Luka in the fourth. There we go, Scoot. 99, 96. Uh-oh, down by 3. Let's go. Scoot has been a disappointment, but he definitely isn't Damian Lillard. But hopefully he'll continue to gain confidence, year in and year out. And if we can get even a Dame 2.0, just get someone that we can have faith in at point guard with Anthony Simons in the backcourt. That's going to help us out tremendously with Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton, Malcolm Brogdon, and a few of the others as well. 102-98, only down by 4. Come on, baby. Luka with the easy layup. Blazers defense is absolutely terrible. You gonna watch Army Navy tomorrow, Matt? I know I'm gonna watch it. You and me might be the only ones on planet Earth that actually give a shit about that game or that will actually watch it. But I love football so much. I mean, if it's on, I'm gonna watch it. Anthony Simons for a 3. Let's go, baby. From deep. We get that board. Let's go. We need a little Uncle Mo. We need some momentum. I mean, there's no other college football on besides that, and you don't really watch a whole lot of the other sports and whatnot. So, I mean, unless you got something that you got to go do, it's on at noon, so it's early enough. Whereas still, if you got other shit going on, so I'll watch it, but I won't stream it, and then we'll do the Kraken at night, and then we'll do some NFL on Sunday. Like I can't believe we're already like getting into the bowl games. Like I'm like getting depressed thinking that college football we had to wait that long and now it's already over. It goes by way too quick. That's why I like to watch like 4 or 5 games a week because I like to be able to soak that in. Because with a blink of an eye, it's gone. It's over. Another layup. Luka, unstoppable. 104-98. Come on, Blazers. Oh, good pass. No good. Damn it, Walker. Boom. We got lucky. Luka in and out for 3 was no good. 104-98. Luka's so talented. Steal that. There we go. Come on, Scoot. Like, why do we have these guys that can't shoot threes shooting threes? Kamara, why are you shooting a 3? Like anybody but you. Luka for 3. In and out 2 times in a row. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you decided to, finally get like a Twitter X, so that way we can communicate, outside of the streams. And sometimes you probably didn't think that you would be using it as often as you do, throughout the day. But it is a good resource of information and memes and video and highlight packages and and keeping up with Duck stuff. I mean, and then you can always keep up with in touch with me as well. So I mean, and other people on the channel. I mean, it's a good app to have, to be able to use, and that way we can share information prior to me, hopping live later on in the evenings. If something breaks during the morning or afternoon. So alley oop is good. Golly, 109, 100. Luca floater. Offensive rebound is good. Come on now, down by 9. I mean, we're going to lose this game, but I mean, the closer that we can get it to one possession would be great. Hardaway Jr. for 3. When he's going off, if Kyrie's going and Luka's going, and then they got that third guy, it's like impossible. Oh, nice fake. Kamara can't make a goddamn layup or a shot. Reflect in the building. How are you, bro? Looks like Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. most likely will not get the Heisman. Maserati Marv ain't getting it, but I think it's going to go to Jaden Daniels. But hell, if that means that Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. can have great careers in the NFL without having that looming on their back, so be it. How are you, man? Hopefully you're doing good. Blazers are about to lose this game, but Sarah was in here earlier, and then we had Cyberpunk in here for a couple minutes as well. But Sarah obviously is at a funeral for her grandpa in Iowa. They had to do the drive from Missouri, so all the relatives from Colorado and across the Midwest are there. So she hasn't got a whole lot of sleep, so she ended up dipping out about a half hour, 40 minutes ago, and she'll be in the stream probably tomorrow when we do the Kraken, and hopefully we'll get some Otani news or any positive Mariner news and whatnot. But we'll end up doing the Kraken and the Tampa Bay Lightning tomorrow. I will be watching Army Navy at noon tomorrow, but we won't do a stream on that. And then we'll be doing NFL. I'll try to do a couple reaction videos as long as my mental health is good and I don't get into the darkness. And then we got the Cowboys and the Eagles for Sunday night, which will be awesome. You got Niners and the Seahawks, and then you got the Chiefs and the Bills, and then you got the Cowboys and the Eagles. So at least we got 3 really good matchups, this weekend on Sunday. Yeah, I don't think Bo's going to win it. I think the order of the Heisman will go Jaden Daniels 1, Michael Penix Jr. 2, Bo Nix 3, and then I would assume then Maserati Marvin Harrison Jr. 4. Or maybe Bo Nix will be number 2, Michael Penix Jr. will be 3. But if I had to use my ESP, I would assume Jaden Daniels will win, and he can have that curse with him there. And then Michael Penix Jr. will get second, even though he's deserving. And then Bo Nix is deserving as well. He'll get third, and then Marvin Harrison will get fourth. That's what my prediction. So I'm just really excited to see the Huskies and the Longhorns, and obviously get into the bowl games and do streams for those. I'll definitely be soaking those in. Kamara for 3, no good. Like the last guy on planet Earth that we should be shooting threes for the Blazers is him, and who keeps shooting threes? Him. But they had a lot of photos in New York. Obviously them just sightseeing and taking pictures with each other, looking like they're having a blast out there. But all of them are Nike except for Michael Penix Jr. So he's not wearing his Husky gear for promotion. He's wearing like jumpsuits because it's like Adidas or whatever. So, oh, and 1. Wow. Curry for 3. and an one. Typical Blazers. Where Ohtani lands. Yeah, fake reports that he was going to go to Toronto for a meeting were completely false. It's like you get all these like insiders and people that try to become Instagram or Twitter X famous that don't even know anything, and then they just put out all that fake news on the internet. You know, so we'll see where he ends up, but I don't assume that he'll make any decisions anytime soon. It's all leverage now. The more places that he meets secretly, the more the dollar amount will go up. So. But I still feel that the Dodgers are going to be the landing spot. I'd be very shocked if he doesn't go anywhere but the Dodgers. Mookie, Freddie, Ohtani kind of has a nice ring to it. And you got Aaron Judge and Juan Soto and Giancarlo Stanton, but it ain't Mookie, Freddie, and Ohtani though. Even if Ohtani can't pitch for a year, Luka with a step back, no good. 113, 104. At least we got it, cut it down to 3. But there we go. There's a dunk. Yeah, and also Sarah's dad like had a fucking stroke. So within a matter of like a day, like the day that her grandpa died, fucking the dad had a stroke and had to go to the hospital. Like what terrible luck to have like one family member pass away and then to have your dad fucking have like a mini stroke or a stroke. Luckily, he didn't pass away and die. He's just in the hospital, but I think they transferred him from one hospital to another. It has to take like meds, and I think the dad is going to recover. But I always have a lot of, and then Megan was in here earlier, Megan from Australia, and obviously she had to make a hospital visit, and she's not doing too good either. So hopefully things can kind of get better. And I think that she said that she's going to have to go back to the hospital on Monday, so she might not be able to watch the Niners and Seahawks unless it's on the TV in the room that she's on, or if she can request that. But it's a very, very tough time right now. Mental health and my depression and anxiety have been, pretty high. And like I said, support has been challenging, and it's like I can only take so many, underwhelming streams in a row before my mental health takes a fucking nosedive. Like it's one thing to hit a zero in a stream or like $1 or $5, but when you have it happen like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days in a row, at some point, you start to lose hope a little bit, based off people showing up or showing support. So. Prayers up for Megan. Prayers up for Sarah. Prayers up for anyone that's watching on Twitter X or watching on YouTube. If you're going through a hard time, that's one thing I like to be able to talk about openly. Because I'll be honest, man, if I didn't have some conversations earlier today, I probably wouldn't have streamed today and tomorrow. And I have so many bills that are piling up and things that need to be taken care of. And when you're grinding, and you end up with minimal support, it's terrible. And it is what it is, and you just have to be able to have the faith that things will get better. But shout out to Cyberpunk, the dog. I mean, it's like not even, necessarily like being able to buy anything for myself, but just to be able to like pay for the internet bill so I can keep streaming, making sure my phone doesn't get turned off. Like just like the very bare necessities, I never thought it would get to this point, but I guess you never can assume anything, just got to try to be as positive as I possibly can be, and then pray that 2024 will treat me better. Yeah. So many rumors out there with Ohtani. I mean, who knows? I mean, but now we have so many more holes to fill. Teoscar, Kelenic, Suarez, and then we can shift a few other guys around, and we still got pitching. But and then supposedly after we made up all that room, that we only have like 20 million to spend, so we don't even have any money to spend anymore. So Kyrie got banged up early in the first half with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, but they did have him come back in the second half. But they're going to be able to win this game without Kyrie. They got plenty of Luka, plenty of Tim Hardaway Jr. Everyone else is doing their part. Three is no good. Plus, half of our starting lineup is out. No DeAndre Ayton, no Jeremy Grant, and no Malcolm Brogdon off the bench as a six man. Scoot Henderson is unreliable, so it's like pretty much you only have Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp, and that's it. And then anything we get from anybody else. There we go. Nice three. 115, 109. He said he messed up my money. Yeah, I think a lot of parlays got fucked with his numbers. It was a collision with another player on the Mavs, and they both went down after a rebound. And I didn't even know if he was actually going to come back into the game. Honestly, the way that he was hobbling, it looked like he was going to be out like the rest of the game. So I was actually kind of shocked that he would even attempt to come back in. But 13 minutes he only played. 4 for 6. So 4 for 6, 11 points. And actually, I don't even know how much time he ended up getting in the second half, if it was all in the first half and that was it. I could have swore I saw him running around out there, but maybe it was a different player. But only 13 minutes played total. So DeBoa, I did see that. Congratulations to the Huskies. That was huge. Well deserved too. Yeah, nothing like when you have a bet and then that player gets hurt to fuck up a parlay, I wish I had some extra money to do betting, so that way I could, make a smart bet like Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman a week ago and putting like a $20 to $100 bet and then winning like $1,000 or $2,000. At some point I need to be able to get hopefully the donos up so I can actually do something like that. And then if I can make a $20 to $100 bet and win a grand, that will definitely put me ahead of the curve. And it's not like I'm going to be betting a lot, but if I can make a couple like bets that I think are like slam dunks and bet, not big, but big enough where I can win some good money. I see a lot of the people, that I talk to on a regular basis to ask for advice here or I see on, socials, and the amount of money they win is disgusting. You don't even have to do like big parlays. You can do like one or two. And if you get those one or two things correct, it could even be something as simple as Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman and throwing $25 down a week ago and then winning over a grand. I mean, that's easy money. $117, $109 Mavs. Or on like National Tight Ends Day, and picking like 5 or 6 tight ends to score. There's going to be that one guy that you have to take a risk, on scoring like a Goddard or a Cole Kmet, or a Dalton Kincaid. But if they score, and then you're going to win big money. So I appreciate you, man. The last few streams have been so rough. Like we had a what? We had a 0, we had a 1, we had a 5. So anything that anybody can do, it really does mean a lot. Thank you so much, man. $20 holla. Thank you so much, bro. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Let's get DeBoer on the screen, huh? I think that's well deserved. Appreciate you. Also, Arizona Wildcats, to go from a shitty record, winning like one game and then like 4 games and then having a chance to go 8-4. Shout out to him as well. Definitely turning that program around. He definitely inherited a dumpster fire. And then within his third year to go from 1 win to 4 to 5 wins to 8 wins is fucking remarkable. Not many coaches can do that. Let alone fucking Arizona. It's not like it's an ideal place to play. It's not like Gronk is there right now or anything like that. So give him some love as well. What a stud. What a stud. Thank you so much. Let me know what you want to see for photos, and I got you. Yeah, good old Jed. I got to get you your Pac-12 champion photo. My feelings don't get hurt. And like I said, even at the beginning of the year, I told y'all, that he was my favorite quarterback, even over Bo. And, I could see hopefully a bright future with him. The only thing that's going to hold Michael Penix Jr. back is himself and injuries. And well deserved. I have no bitterness whatsoever. A lot of Duck fans, maybe even Matt, still bitter about it. But again, I'm not biased. I appreciate greatness, wherever it's at. And when you see greatness, it's good to acknowledge it instead of hating on it. And then you can strive to be like that coach or to be like that player when that happens. So I got a really cool one here, emotional one here. I guarantee I'm the only Duck fan that probably was like, "Oh, I like Michael Penix Jr. better than Bo Nix." Probably no Duck fan would have the balls to say it, even if they thought it. But I always have to keep it 100. That's what makes me different and special compared to everyone else on planet Earth and on socials and on YouTube and covering sports. I have more sympathy and empathy than most people, and I'm not going to be a hater. So 20 for the 20 wins in a row. Coincidence? I think not. I appreciate you, man. I'll be rooting for Washington too. And like I said, not only will I be rooting for Washington in the college football playoff, which I probably will be the only Duck fan on planet Earth actually rooting for them and not being a hater, but I will be rooting for the Huskies very heavy when we both go, to the Big Ten. Like I said, I don't really have a whole lot of love for USC for a number of reasons because obviously that's California and it's not the same as Pacific Northwest. If it ends up being Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, Washington State, if it's going to be Seattle teams or Oregon teams, I'm going to root for those the heaviest. Any California team, they're on their own. They have enough history and enough fans that they can bandwagon. And I'll root for the Dodgers for my dad because my dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s. But that'll be the only California team that I root for in the four major sports ever. You're never going to hear me rooting for any other California team. It's just they say West Coast is the best coast, but it's all about the Pacific Northwest. We're built different. I'm proud of them, and I really do hope one day that we can get Ducks and the Huskies at the top, and then Ohio State and Michigan will be third and fourth. Can you imagine one day when recruiting gets good, where like Huskies are one, Oregon's two, or Huskies are one, Ohio State is two, Oregon's three, Michigan four, or any type of combination of the Huskies or Oregon at one or two or three? It would be pretty sweet. And I do think it is realistic to happen. It'll take some time for recruiting. You know what I mean to get it there, but depending on what happens with the Huskies, if they can surprise everyone and win it all and get past Texas, it'll help recruiting. And obviously, we're doing really well with recruiting right now with Dan Lanning. So I'm not really as emotional with Dan Lanning. Obviously with the field goal kicker, Camden Lewis not being very good. I was very critical of him. But to see how Camden Lewis kind of progressed, I get it. You're not Chip Kelly, but still, I wish you would be a little bit more conservative at times. Take a risk when needed, but he just wants to be Chip Kelly all the time, and it ends up burning us more than helping us. But again, I actually hope we at one point get a kicker that's like the best in the nation. One less linebacker, one less wide receiver, and go for like the best kicker. Go for that lacrosse player. Go for that soccer player. Go for that, that field goal kicker, that punter. Go for that guy in special teams that can help us win when games are close. You're never going to know when you're going to need that clutch kicker that can kick 50, and you don't have to worry about it. Most guys in college can't kick 50, so I like DeBoer a lot, man. There's a lot about your team I really do love. And, let's not get it twisted. I'm Ducks all day, every day. But again, I'm going to keep it 100 and keep it real. I'll be rooting for you guys to win it all. And you guys probably have the least likely chance to do it, just like Oregon would have if we would have beat you. But I don't care. Haters can hate as much as they want. I know what I see talent wise, and it's like if you got Jalen McMillan in Rome, right, and you can run the ball with Dylan, right, and then Michael Penix Jr. has a good game, and those defensive players are healthy, you can compete with anybody in the country. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Anyone that's hating is an SEC or Big Ten fan that just hates on the Pac-12 because they haven't watched this year. If you were going to talk about us like that in years past, fine. But this year, Oregon and Washington are built different. And if you're too dumb to see that, then you're not watching the games. So, if those guys want to be dumb, let them be dumb, and hopefully we can punch them in the mouth and show them, hey, the Pac-12 is here. Now the Pac-12 is gone, but now we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Michigan and Ohio State, it's not going to be a gimme for them to be top two every year. You best believe Oregon and Washington are coming. And USC, if they can actually get a fucking defense, they'll be able to make a little bit of a wave as well. You still got Penn State sitting there also, but they're I don't know. We'll see where Penn State is, but they'll still be in the mix. Yeah. It's a good thing not to be biased, I mean, imagine if I was like every other Oregon fan or every other fan of sports, that a majority, just being a hater and super biased. I mean, it gets old, It's like to be able to appreciate greatness wherever it is. It don't matter what the name of the jersey on the front, it's a name on the back. And once you realize that, you can really enjoy sports. But if you're not able to do that, you're never going to enjoy sports the way that I'm able to. Like I can watch anybody in the NFL, even the bullshit Patriots or the Giants or the Jets, and I still try to enjoy it. Calabro's top 15 players: Embiid, Giannis, Luka, Shea, Joker, Jimmy Butler, and then the list went away. But one thing that we have that you don't have, Reflect, that I'm very proud of, since Max Unger, we got the best, and he wasn't, I don't think, necessarily considered the best center. He was one of the top 3 at the time. But Jackson Powers ended up getting the award for being the best center in the country, like I predicted at the beginning of the year. All year, we had one of the best lines, just like Georgia, and he ended up winning the award today as being the best center in college football, which I'm really proud of. I mean, I wish I could buy his jersey. I would fucking rock it. And like I said, there's not many offensive lineman jerseys that are going to be ever available, but I could think of a better player that I would love to invest in and get one. But the only way you're going to get a Jackson Powers jersey is if he wants money and then he ends up selling it on eBay, and then a fan buys it, but it'll be like $500 or something like that. So final score 125-112 Mavericks. No surprise. All right, any photos that you want to see since now the game is over? I got to go walk Paisley and do that. Monte Exum with 23. That's just disgusting. But I'll stay on here for just a few more minutes, maybe like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So if there's any photos that we want to sprinkle in Huskies and Ducks, let's do that. Anything else that you want, or food, and then we'll go from there. We'll start off with Reflect since he ended up being generous. Getting a $20 dono is a hell of a lot better than hitting a 0 for a 3-hour stream or $1 or $2 or $5. Let me tell you. That when you get numbers like that, you start fucking getting depression. Believe you me. And it's hard for me to get out of my depression. Once I get into depression, it's really hard to get out. And even if I'm walking outside with Paisley 2 hours a day, sometimes it's still not enough. But shout out to Meg. She helped me climb out of the depression. Not Megan from Australia, but Meg here in Oregon. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of bettors, betting on Alabama to beat Michigan. But hopefully we end up getting like a Washington Huskies versus Bama or Huskies versus Michigan. And I kind of want Michigan and Washington, honestly, because I want that rivalry to start now. So that way, when we go into the Big Ten, we're fucking here. All right, you guys wanted to doubt us. You want to hate on us. Oregon and Washington, we are here. Our recruiting is going to be better than yours, but you got Michael Penix Jr., and it's going to be very hard to get another guy like that. But if you guys win the fucking championship, you're going to get one. You're going to get a guy in the NIL, or you're going to get guys that flip their recruitment. They're like, oh, I was going to go to Michigan, but now Huskies beat Michigan in the Natty, or the Huskies beat Alabama. Fuck that. I'm going to be the next Michael Penix Jr., and that's exactly what would happen. So I'm rooting for you guys to go all the way. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, seriously, we literally got the worst bowl game. I mean, like I was bitching and complaining if we had a Missouri, right? And I was like, Missouri, garbage. And we're the only team out of all the main bowls that are playing someone that's past the 15 seed. Everyone is in like the top 12 or top 14 seeds, like 7 versus 8, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, 7 versus 12, and then you got like Oregon 8 versus 23, like some bullshit like that. Like, thanks a lot, committee. Like, way to fuck us over, but it is what it is. What can we do? Right? Nothing. Devoa, Coach of the Year, baby. I think it's awesome too. Like I said, you haven't had a season like this since 1991. This is a real special thing, and you want to make sure that you remember. Even if you're a Duck fan, you remember this. You remember what you're seeing. So that way, when it's our turn, then we can feel that kind of joy. Sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. No problem, man. I got you. I got a couple more. I mean, I want to make sure that we're showcasing plenty. Appreciate you supporting the cause. Like I don't want I got my cell phone about to be turned off. That's like I just got so many things, and the stress, on that is just at an all-time high. But people like you definitely help bring that stress level to a manageable level. So I appreciate you. Even going to be more magnified, in the future too, because the competition level is going to be so much higher. So if Washington ends up winning the Big Ten or Oregon, oh my God, Michigan fans are going to be pissed. Ohio State fans are going to be pissed. Everyone like Penn State, Wisconsin, Iowa, they're already, instead of them maybe getting third or fourth, now they're going to be scaling way far back. Everyone is going to be upset, but it's going to be a big, big day. When Washington or Oregon or both of us end up doing it one day, which I know will happen. It may take a few years, you know what I mean? And of course, it's always going to be Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan until proven otherwise. But I'm going to have that faith that we're going to be able to eventually do it. We have Washington and Oregon are going to have a better chance than Penn State, And if USC gets a defense, they'll even have a better chance than Penn State. So there is a real strong possibility that the best 5, 3 of them are going to be from the former Pac-12, and that is cool. What a stud right there. And it's not like we got blown out. We lost by 3 twice. The best team won, Yeah. I know they probably want Alabama, Texas, or Michigan, Texas. I think Alabama, Texas, I think they like that style of play. I think a lot of fans are rooting for that. But I want, or Michigan and Texas. Maybe that's the one that everyone wants, But I think Washington, Michigan would be so fucking epic. And then it would start a rivalry with you guys, if you beat them. They're never going to forget it. It's like Michigan finally has a chance to win an Natty, and here comes Michael Penix Jr. to rip it away from them. Finally, the SEC isn't the best in the world, and now we have a chance to win, and here comes little Pac-12 Washington, and they steal it from them. How awesome would that be? I'm a Duck fan, and I would love that. So Yeah. But see, I'm already thinking ahead. Other people aren't even thinking about the rivalry, but if it ends up being Michigan-Washington, that rivalry starts now, it starts early, and that's what we want. And then that'll be exciting when I can do the streams. But also too, fuck, that means we're going to have to wake up early. I'm going to be doing like 9 a.m. streams for Big Ten. Golly. Michigan and Ohio State will actually be done by me moving forward every single year. Because, I'm going to be doing, hopefully we'll have games that are a little bit later, but there's going to be games that are on at 9 a.m. And, maybe the support will be kind of hit or miss, but, I'm going to do it. So, I better wake up early, but it's not like I'm drinking or anything like that. So it won't be a problem for me. But golly, 9 a.m. start, that means I got to wake up at least at 8 a.m. to make the thumb, and probably even up before then to actually get the crust out of my eyes and be like functional. So, but hey, if it ends up, being an amazing matchup, it'll be fucking worth it. I'm going to miss this guy. And I'll be very, kind of cut and dry and honest. As much as I love Bo Nix and what he did, it's not like really, Joey Harrington for me, or Justin Herbert or Marcus Mariota. Stat-wise, it is, but based on who he is and the aura, it was a real special year. But Michael Penix Jr., the upside is higher. And I want to be able to see him turn into the next Steve Young. There's a lot of going against him. But what a better way to be able to prove that you're the next Steve Young, by getting in there and possibly beating an Alabama or Michigan in the Natty. So, one game at a time. And I love lefties, as we know. And then ironically, right, the Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma that's going to transfer, right? The sports gods have listened to me on how much I love lefties, and it's like Oregon never has a lefty. And then what's going to happen next year? We're going to have a lefty. So it's like the sports gods are like, okay, I'm sorry that we had to break your heart, and the Washington is a better team, but you knew already they were, so it's not like it was something brand new to me, right? And then they're like, but what we're going to do is we're going to get you the Oklahoma transfer, and he's a lefty. So Gabriel more than likely is going to be a Duck. He's already started to follow a lot of the players. And normally you don't do that as a college kid unless you've already made your decision. So I assume I will have an announcement, sooner than later. And then we'll get Dylan Gabriel, the Oklahoma transfer that beat Texas in the Red River Shootout. And I don't know what his upside is in the NFL, but it definitely will put us on the map. And it'll give us, someone not as good as Michael Penix Jr., but it'll give us a chance to have our very own lefty too. So, all right, let me throw up some duck photos so Matt doesn't have a heart attack here. It's all about teaching, to be not biased. Not a lot of people can learn, that kind of technique, To be a hater and to be, that type of way biased is so easy. Why do you think 99% of the fans out there are? Because that's just easy to be a hater and have that hater mentality, But once you can appreciate greatness, man, I'm telling you, you start to enjoy sports as a whole so much more. Let's get some Bo Nix up here. And then we also got to get Jackson Powers up since he's the best center. I can't go ending the stream without at least showing one photo of him. Went to Jackson Powers and it brought up a video game photo of Doom. I don't know why I had that. Probably because when we went into like video games back in the day. But I was like, oh, Doom. I have so many files. It's just ridiculous. I love centers too. Center is like a catcher for me in baseball. It's like my favorite. Like everyone gets like the tackle love, left tackle, right tackle. Guards don't get love like centers in football. Guards and centers get as much love as a fucking punter and a kicker, which is none, right? But centers are like just like a linebacker. They're the leader calling the protections, and the center has always been my favorite position in football for offense as far as the line is concerned. You know, left tackle, right tackle, depending on if you're a right-handed quarterback. Left tackle is most important. If you're a left-handed quarterback, Tua, right tackle is most important. You're blind side, like the movie, right? But, you know, center, and to be, you know, awarded as the best, pretty cool. Disadvantage for West. Oh, absolutely. But of course, they won't say that. You know, they'll be like, "What are you bitching about? Hey, you've been playing like this for the last 100 years." You know, and you know, it'll be a big disadvantage. But I still think we're going to beat them. I mean, hell, we were able to go into the shoe without Kayvon Thibodeau and beat the fucking Ohio State Buckeyes when they were highly touted and highly ranked, and we didn't even have Thibodeau, and we won. So I know we can go up into the shoe and the big house and win. You know, there's no doubt. I know you guys are going to be able to do it also. So as long as DeBoa is there, and hopefully you guys win the Natty this year, then good things can happen. So I'll be rooting. Only Duck fan on planet Earth acknowledging the Huskies, and still Michael Penix Jr. is still my favorite player in college football. You're not going to hear that from that many people besides Husky fans. You know, Duck fans are like, "Why? We have Bo Nix." I understand, but it's not Michael Penix Jr. This is once in a generation lefty. It feels like, you know, could be better than Tua, better than Michael Vick. Maybe not as good as Steve Young, but hopefully better than Vick and Tua. So we have the next big thing, you know, the Tua in the NFC, Michael Penix Jr., and I want him to be better than Tua. I don't think it's asking too much. So, well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to Cyberpunk. I couldn't do this shit without you, man. Reflect, thank you so much for your generosity. Much better. You know, than hitting a stream with, you know, zero support. So thank you so much. And we'll be doing the Kraken tomorrow against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then I'll be watching a lot of football on Sunday. Hawks, Niners. Be watching that as well as the Bills and the Chiefs. And then we'll do a couple reaction videos. And then I'll end up doing the Cowboys and the Eagles. And I'm really juiced for that game for Sunday night. It actually is going to be an amazing game. Not like Thursday night, Patriots, Steelers, boo. Cowboys, Eagles, yay, and the Cowboys are favored for the very first time. You know, so it's like you normally aren't going to see the Cowboys favored ever, and maybe this is the year. You know, maybe the Cowboys can at least win the regular season against the Eagles, but maybe this is the year the Cowboys actually win one playoff game. Maybe not two, but maybe they win one and break the curse. But we'll have to wait and see. So. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to everyone that commented, liked, shared, donated. I appreciate you very, very much. And final score, Dallas Mavericks 125, Portland Trail Blazers 112. And hopefully the Kraken can get a dub tomorrow when we do that tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific time against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'll be here. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, Matt, Cyber, Reflect. I appreciate you, and I'm out. Okay.